The next generation of artificial intelligence is facing starvation. It is not an engineering problem, it is a legal problem. The enormous demand for data is colliding with global privacy laws, creating a data blackout that threatens to halt AI innovation and wipe out $20 trillion in economic potential. Welcome to Info AI Pro. We have focused on the power of AI agents and the genius of new chips. But all of this technology is useless without its lifeblood, data. Generative AI models are reaching the limits of available public data. Simultaneously, powerful regulations like GDPR in Europe and strict new privacy laws in the United States are creating a legal iron cage around sensitive information. This conflict between AI's hunger and society's demand for privacy is the most fundamental crisis facing big tech. We will analyze the legal barriers, evaluate the effectiveness of synthetic data substitutes, and determine what happens to the global economy when AI can no longer learn. Hit subscribe, and let's decode the great data blackout.
The heart of the data blackout is the collision between AI's insatiable hunger and global society's legal demand for privacy. Generative AI models, to be effective, must continuously consume vast quantities of human communication, emails, medical records, financial transactions, and proprietary code. But this appetite is now being starved by the most comprehensive data protection laws in the world. The GDPR lockdown, the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, is the primary legal obstacle. This law grants every EU citizen the right to control their data, including the right to erasure, often called the right to be forgotten. If an EU citizen requests that their personal data be deleted from a training data set, the AI company is legally obliged to comply. The challenge is immense. It is mathematically and logistically near impossible to fully extract a single person's data once it has been integrated into a massive multi-trillion parameter AI model. This uncertainty creates massive regulatory risk for any AI company operating in Europe. The American state-level fragmentation. In the United States, the problem is not a single federal law, but fragmentation. State laws like the California Consumer Privacy Act provide consumers with similar rights to opt out of data sharing and processing. For large AI corporations, this means they cannot rely on one set of rules. They must maintain a highly complex state-by-state compliance strategy, often choosing to block entire categories of sensitive data just to avoid legal liability. This acts as a severe constriction on the available training corpus. Copyright and litigation fear. Beyond personal privacy, AI companies face a massive wave of copyright litigation from artists, writers, and code developers. The core legal question is whether using copyrighted material to train an AI model constitutes fair use. The fear of multi-billion-dollar lawsuits is now forcing AI labs to self-censor their training data, removing vast amounts of valuable text and code. This fear, driven by ongoing lawsuits in the US and Europe, means that the next generation of AI will be trained on a deliberately limited and filtered data set. The cumulative effect is the same. The legal framework, designed to protect individual rights, is inadvertently creating a data famine for the machines.
Faced with the legal and ethical barriers of the data blackout, technology firms are desperately turning to substitutes. The hope is that synthetic data and advanced sharing techniques can feed the AI machine. But these alternatives have critical limitations that prevent the next leap in intelligence. The synthetic data band-aid. Synthetic data is information that is artificially generated by an AI, mirroring the statistical properties of real data without containing any actual personal details. The benefit is clear. Privacy risk is eliminated. Financial institutions in London and major healthcare systems are using synthetic data to train new models without violating GDPR. However, there is a fundamental flaw. Synthetic data is only as good as the real data it was trained on. It can teach the AI patterns it already knows, but it cannot introduce novelty, errors, or extremes, the very anomalies that lead to genuine breakthroughs and make AI models truly robust. Synthetic data acts as a band-aid, not a permanent solution. Federated learning and collaboration. Another promising technique is federated learning. This involves training AI models across multiple devices or organizations without sharing the raw data. The AI model travels to the data, learns from it locally, and then only the updates to the model are sent back to the central server. This allows pharmaceutical companies in Europe and tech firms in the US to collaborate on AI research while keeping sensitive data securely on their own premises. While excellent for privacy, federated learning is computationally intensive and often results in slower and less powerful models than those trained on massive, centralized datasets. The quality cliff. The central truth remains: quality data is finite. The vast majority of the high-quality text and image data on the internet has already been scraped and consumed by the current generation of AI models. The data that remains is either heavily regulated, proprietary, or of poor quality. Trying to teach the next generation of AI with synthetic substitutes and fractured learning methods guarantees that the models will eventually hit a quality cliff, a point where they cease to become smarter, more creative, or more reliable than their predecessors. This stagnation is the core threat to the multi-trillion-dollar AI economy.
The data blackout is not just a problem for Silicon Valley, it is a $20 trillion threat to the global economy. The core value of AI lies in its continuous improvement. If AI models stop consuming fresh, high-quality data, their performance stagnates, leading to massive financial and operational failure across key industries. Financial market decay. In the global financial markets, from New York to Frankfurt, AI is used for everything from fraud detection to predictive trading. These systems rely on constant streams of the most current data, real-time stock prices, fresh regulatory changes, and evolving customer behaviors. If AI models are forced to rely on old, synthetic, or fragmented data, their ability to predict market shifts or detect novel fraud patterns will rapidly decline. This leads to increased risk, reduced efficiency, and a return to outdated human-led processes that are slower and more error-prone. The promise of AI efficiency will evaporate, costing firms billions in lost revenue. Healthcare stagnation. The healthcare sector is perhaps the hardest hit. The next generation of AI, which promises to personalize medicine and discover new treatments, depends entirely on accessing large, diverse, and sensitive patient data sets from around the world. Strict GDPR rules and the fear of regulatory fines are blocking this data flow. Without fresh, real-world data on emerging diseases or diverse population responses, AI medical cannot improve. This stagnation means potentially life-saving treatments are delayed, and the projected economic benefits of AI in healthcare, estimated in the hundreds of billions, are never realized. The end of personalization. The final economic blow is the death of personalized services. Modern commerce relies on AI models constantly learning your preferences, predicting your next purchase, and tailoring online experiences. If privacy laws prevent access to your real-time behavior, AI models revert to generic, non-personalized defaults. This decline in service quality reduces customer engagement, leading to a significant drop in e-commerce revenue and the erosion of brand value across industries. The global economy enters a period of AI regression.
We have analyzed the core conflict of our digital age: AI's hunger for data versus humanity's demand for privacy. The current legal framework, dominated by GDPR and fragmented US laws, is leading us toward a data blackout that threatens to halt AI innovation and cost the global economy trillions. Synthetic data and limited learning methods are simply not enough. The long-term solution to this crisis cannot be total prohibition. It must be controlled and compensated consent. The future of AI will be built on a new model where individuals are treated as data shareholders. Companies will have to pay users a direct financial incentive, a micropayment or equity share, in exchange for the explicit, traceable, and revocable right to use their data for training AI. This shift transforms privacy from a legal liability into an economic asset, empowering individuals and ensuring that the AI machine can continue to learn without sacrificing fundamental rights. The next great AI fortune will be made not by the data collectors, but by the companies that first master the business of ethical, compensated consent. That was your comprehensive breakdown of the Great Data Blackout. If you found this analysis valuable, please hit thumbs up and subscribe to Info AI Pro for more critical insights into technology and the global economy. Do you believe AI companies should pay users for their personal data? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below.